When working with trust accounts and contracts, a common practice is to generate ABA files which you can load into your bank account to process all the payments that are needed to be done in one go rather than doing them manually one by one. In Mantis Property, we have an area in your contracts and also under the accounting menu where it keeps track of any bank-to-bank transfers or direct deposits that need to be processed, and you can generate ABA files for these that then load directly into your bank account. In this video, I'm going to run through how this all works and how you can do this with your account. So the first thing that you need to do is ensure that your trust account is set up correctly. So when you create a trust account, or if you edit your trust account, in here, the important things for an ABA file are your BSB, account number, and 3-digit bank code. You also need to make sure that you put in your trustee name, trustee license, and everything else that's required for your trust account. For your 3-digit bank code, you just need to check that with your bank. For instance, Westpac, it's WBC. For ANZ, it's ANZ. For Commonwealth Bank, it's CBA. But if you ask your bank, they'll be able to let you know what that is. Now I'm going to jump over to an existing contract, and I've gone into the Trust Accounting tab. In here, this is a previously created ledger that we've already connected up and put some transactions in. I'm going to create a new transaction here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to record a payment coming out of the trust account to a bank account, because this is the type of transaction that will show up in an ABA file. So we click Add Payment, select what it is. So we're going to say that we're paying commission from the trust account. The payment method is bank transfer or EFT. In here we put in the BSB and the account number of where this money needs to go to. Select who it's being paid to, whether it's the agency or another party. So as this is commission, it's going to the agency. Put in the amount that we're paying and click Save. Now if we go over to the ABA Files tab on the contract, we'll see here now it shows this transaction automatically ticked. That any transactions that show here up the top of the ABA Files screen are transactions that have not yet been recorded into an ABA file. So this makes it nice and easy to keep track of what you've actually recorded as an ABA file and processed, and what are awaiting to be processed. Some agencies like to process these on a contract by contract basis, so they'll enter in the transactions for that specific contract and then generate an ABA file. Other agencies like to enter in all their transactions for the day, and then at the end of the day create an ABA file of all the transactions for all the different ledgers. So I'll show you how to do both of those. The first way is just generating an ABA file for this specific contract. So we just have the one transaction here. If we click Create ABA File, that'll create an ABA file with that one transaction in it, and then that ABA file can then be downloaded and uploaded into the bank account, and it'll process that payment from the trust account to the account that's been specified on this transaction for this amount. If you ever have a situation where you've manually transferred the money and you don't need that transaction to be in an ABA file, then you can simply tick it here and click Disregard Selected Transactions. And what that'll do is it'll just mark it off that it's been processed already, so that way it won't show up as needing to be put into an ABA file. So if we click Create ABA File here, it warns you that that's exactly what it's going to do, and click OK. As you can see here now, it's created a new ABA file with the date and the amount. It gives you an option to download the file or delete the file. If you've made a mistake at any time, and you can just click delete and it'll just reverse that and put those transactions back as ready to be put into an ABA file again. So that may happen if you've accidentally selected transactions that you didn't want to go into the ABA file. You can just delete and start again. To access the ABA file, you just click Download File, and that lets you download the ABA file to your computer, and then you just log into your banking and upload that ABA file to be processed through there. Now, the other way that you can process ABA files is under the Accounting menu and ABA files. When you go into this, it looks across your entire trust account for any transactions on any ledgers that haven't been put into an ABA file yet. And it will show these here. So you automatically ticks them. You can tick or untick what you want, and then you can disregard them, or you can create an ABA file for those. So as I mentioned before, some agencies like to do all of their transactions for the day, and then at the end of the day, create an ABA file. So this is an easy way to ensure that all your bank-to-bank transfers are processed by an ABA file at the end of the day and nothing's missed out. If you have multiple trust accounts, then on this screen here, when you can select any other trust accounts that you have, so you can generate ABA files specifically for any of your trust accounts. When you're in a contract, it'll automatically know which trust account that is because you've already attached that to your ledger when you've created the ledger in the contract, so you don't need to worry about that there.